Today in this video we're going to do the Gyrocopter real life test. We're going to do 6 tests with this machine. First test is going to be the top speed. Second test, we're going to bring this from 0 to 30 kilometers an hour and see how long it takes to reach that speed. The third test is going to be the range, how far with distance we can do with it. And then we're going to try to climb this hill. On one side of the hill we have a 10-degree angle, the other side is about 12 to 15-degree angle. You're going to see how it does. Another thing too is those tires are rated to be all-wheel drive. They're a little bit wider, 3-inch. We're going to see, can we run this in forest trails? And then we're also going to see if those tires can handle the sand. We're going to run all those tests twice. First of all, we're going to run them with my son that is 110 pounds, and then I'm going to recreate those tests with me that is about 190 pounds, and then we're going to see what this machine can do and compare the result. And if you guys are lucky, we're going to see if this guy can do a wheelie. In this test, we're going to do the maximum speed that we can reach. We're going to use this app here that says current speed, distance, average speed, max speed, and stopwatch. In this test, we're doing top speed first. So let's see what the result is for the top speed.
30 kilometers per hour.
30 kilometers per hour was the top speed on this run. Actually, Hunter was able to reach once at 34 kilometers an hour, right?
Yep.
It won't work. The max speed I was able to reach was 28. So actually 29 kilometers an hour is my top speed. Now we're going to do the 0 to 30. How long it takes to reach 30 kilometers an hour with this thing.
Seconds for 0 to 30.
Get some speed. 8-second pointer. So it took 20 seconds and I reached 28 kilometers an hour on this shot. So just a recap here, I'm not able to do the 0 to 30 kilometers an hour myself because I'm only reaching 29 kilometers an hour. For Hunter, he was able to reach it in 11 seconds, and then his top speed today is 30 kilometers an hour. But he's been reaching 34 kilometers an hour in the past when we were not filming. But right now we can just reach 30, and I can only reach 29, which I reached 30 before. I was never able to pass 30 in another test that we're not filming, unfortunately. Okay, so battery full, we're going to calculate the average kilometers, the time it takes to run this battery completely dead, and the distance that Hunter's been able to do with this bike. Here's the stat after my son came back. So again, he's 110 pounds. So the distance that he was able to do from full battery to completely empty was 8.96 kilometers. His average speed was 7 kilometers, max speed 31 kilometers, and that lasted for an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm very surprised about this number here, because in the instruction it says that you should be able to do about a distance of 28 kilometers. I was expecting to be at least maybe 16 or closer to half anyway. So most of the stats was about doing laps around the school. Or maybe if he was driving a little bit more up and down the street, that would have do any changes. We're going to have to redo this test again, and I'm going to have to jump on there too and do that test. My son redid this test going down the street this time, and he had a distance of about the same, 8 kilometers, but he had an average speed this time of 20 kilometers an hour and a max speed of 33 kilometers an hour, which was way better. But because he was keeping his top speed higher, then the battery dropped fairly quickly, and he only was able to drive for 23 minutes and 49 seconds. Now the speed was good, but the trouble is the distance and time is not good, and those batteries are pretty expensive. They run about $250 Canadian, and they're not quick. It'll take you like maybe 20 minutes to swap a battery, because you have to undo the hole underneath. I'll show you guys in another video how to swap the battery. Okay, so it's my turn now to show you about how much kilometers I can do with this e-bike and what the average speed is. So we get the fully charged battery. So let's get started. Okay, so the battery is dead on this thing. I was able to get down the road at a half decent speed this time, actually faster than the top speed that we had in the previous test here. I'll show you. So I was able to go down the street. I just had a distance of 5.39 kilometers, but I had an average speed of 25 kilometers with a max speed of 32 kilometers per hour. Now it's under resume here. If I resume, you can see I drove for about 13 minutes. One of the things that might have affected the run time on this unit here is today is only 10 degrees Celsius outside. So as you guys know, a cold battery and cold weather usually don't last as long. So we'll have to redo this test next summer. But this gives you a good idea of what that machine can handle. Now let's move on to the next test. Now our next test here, we are having Hunter going up the incline hill. This is on the sidewalk. It's our first test to see how it goes uphill. After that, we're gonna see how it goes in the grass. So it looks like it did very good for that first hill, for the first test here. Now I'm gonna go and try it. Alright, so it worked pretty good when I did go up the hill, and also when Hunter went up the hill. What do you think?
That's good.
Yeah, so I wasn't reaching top speed, but we're not expecting it to. But it still went at a good pace. In this test, we're gonna first do the hill that is a 10-degree angle. Looks like it's struggling, but it's doing it. And In this test we're doing the 15-degree angle hill. We're back up a little bit so that you can try to reach top speed before you hit the hill. Let's see if we can climb this. Oh, halfway, and no. Can't climb a 15-degree angle hill. Oh, I can't make it. Doesn't like me going in the grass. It's already slowing down. I'm not even climbing. Nope. Now it's time to test the forest trail with the e-bike.
That's a new trick that I invented.
Okay, so what did you think about riding in the trails?
Overall, it was good. It's just a little bumpy without suspension, but
Yeah, and I guess we have to watch too. There's a couple times that there's stick that got into the rims. But yeah, I agree. Without suspension, it's a little bit rough. Maybe you could lower a little bit the air out of the tire, but the bike can do it. So for this test, we have lots of people online saying that you cannot drive those e-bike in the sand even though they have fat tires. So we're gonna try to drive it on the beach, see what happens. So it's drivable a little bit on the beach. Looks like it's losing a bit of power. What happened? Like, are you able to restart if you stop? Yeah, we can restart it if we stop. That's great. I was able to do that whole little mini beach.
super slippery.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's drifting a little bit when you're on there, eh?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if I can do it. Whoa. It's very drifty. Let's see if I can start from dead stop. Nope, Nadzul cannot go nowhere from dead stop.